but I am looking for a better word. What we have understood in the last class is we understood how to iterate,
expressions and
some piece of code, continuous iterate in the sense repeatedly executing the same piece of code again and again and again. Through that, we are going to achieve something. It is something like iterating same work again and again. Okay. What is the best work? What is the best example in which you have seen the iteration process? That comes only by iteration. The washing machine. Yeah, very good example. Washing machine. Why washing machine is an iterative? Ultimately, we want a clean cloth. How do we get the clean clothes? We put it in the washing machine. We start iterating it. In the same steps, it will rotate that content in this direction, that direction, by adding some detergent periodically, so that ultimately what will happen? That will wash the clothes. Right? The same way, if you want sugar cane, somehow I do remember the same sugar cane. We put that sugar cane in the machine. What is the job of the machine? Machine don't know anything. Whether you are putting the sugar cane or whether you are putting your hand in that, doesn't care. What does it do? No, it will rotate. I mean to say, it will rotate. In that rotation process, it will apply some pressure so that you get the liquid out. What is the fan? It is also an iteration process. What is a movie? Why?
we start and end now.
So movie is nothing but a combination of images. Those images are getting executed again and again and again, so that you are able to see that. Suppose if the movie executes only 2 frames per second, then you get something like but if you execute the same thing 120 hertz and 120 frames per second, then you will get the full, the motion. Minimum you need 50 or 40. Less than that, it will not show you, feel like it's moving. Okay, so everything is an iteration process. Through that, we get some outcome. You got it? Any automation engineer here? Sorry, any electronics and instrumentation engineer here? EIE. You know, there is a branch EIE. What do? They create, their job is to create the products like a washing machine or like something like that. What is their basic common thing is they have to do that iteration process. What particular procedure, by repeating the same procedure, will make a product out of it is nothing but
Same
automation. Okay. Best example is, for example, you are cleaning the fish. For example, I'm just saying, like, I hope you must have seen the video of cleaning fish or cutting fish or something like that. So when it goes to a very large market, there are so many tuna fish. So somebody cuts only the head, somebody cuts only the tail, somebody just cut the stomach, somebody will remove it. This is the same procedure. Repeatedly, they do the same thing again and again. Ultimately, you get the packaged fish. Okay. Anyways, I am trying my best to tell you that everything is an iteration process. Through iteration process, we are actually doing the job here. Okay, let us jump into the next aspect, that is In the iteration process, especially in the while, we have 3 steps. Okay, I just want to write down that first step. Prashant could you fan name? Here you go. So this while loop is basically having 3 steps. The first step is initializing a variable. This is called as initialization. And inside the while, we have something called condition. And within the body of the while, we have something called increment or decrement. Because of these 3 steps, while is able to iteratively execute a piece of code multiple times. To just to control it, we are doing initialization, condition, and increment and decrement. Okay. So these 3 steps are very important for every iteration. So now the same 3 steps I would like to have it in the for loop. For okay, before for where I want to print 1 to 5 by using while loop. First while loop. I is equal to 1 while I less than or equal to 5 console.log of I. So whatever I am writing now, I hope all of you are able to follow this. I plus plus. So here this is the initialization, this is the condition, and this is the increment decrement. So now these 3 steps, if I repeat the same way by for loop, in the for loop, all the 3 steps we will write it in a single line. I repeat, all the 3 steps we will be writing in single line. Where I is equal to 0, sorry, where I will take another variable where j is equal to 1, j less than or equal to 5, j plus plus. Try to understand the point. Here, every expression is in the separate line. So even if I don't close the initialization with the semicolon, that will not be a problem. Here I less than or equal to 5 is a condition. Here also I am not using any semicolon, you should not use. And incremented, this one also I don't need to use it. But while it comes to for loop, when it comes to for loop, every expression, in fact, every statement should be, not should be, initialization and condition should be closed by semicolon. It should be closed by semicolon. So after initialization, there should be a semicolon. After condition, there should be a semicolon. And then don't put any semicolon after j plus plus. So these 3 steps should be enclosed in the round brackets or parenthesis. Okay. And this particular statement, I mean to say, this particular line will iterate a block of statements. until and unless this condition fails. So now we have to understand how that will execute. You know what is this? You know what is this and what is, and after that you know what is the block also. Now you have to understand by writing like this, what will happen. First, for loop will check whether these statements are there or not. In the three statements, this statement will be executed only once in the whole process of looping. Only once. అదొక్కటేసారి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. దట్ టు వెరీ ఫస్ట్ టైమ్ ఆఫ్ ద రిపిటేషన్. దట్ టు ఫస్ట్ టైమ్ ఆఫ్ ద రిపిటేషన్, బిఫోర్ ద ఫస్ట్ టైమ్ ఆఫ్ ద రిపిటేషన్. So this statement executed, so j value will be initialized with 1. Correct? Then for loop will execute the second statement. That is condition. For loop will execute the condition. If that condition is satisfied, I hope you are all clear about the satisfaction. Okay, satisfied means it returns true. Okay, j less than 5, that is j value is now 5, 1 is less than 5 or not. If it is true, then for loop will not execute this part. It will not execute immediately. It will execute the block. Once it is executed, after executing all the pieces of code, then it will execute j++. Okay. So what are the steps virtually it will do in the first iteration? First, initialization of j with 0. Next, condition. Next, అదే చెప్పింది, ఇంక్రిమెంట్ డిక్రిమెంట్ జరగదని చెప్పాను నేను. ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ code block or block. Then the third statement, I++. That is third statement. Abhi okay? Amen. So this is the first part. This is the first 4 lines. First time. Second time, directly it won't initialize again. It will start with condition and execution, and then I++, then condition, execution. But how many times it will do? So it will repeat this process only if the condition is satisfied. That means the very first time also, if the condition fails, it will not repeat it. Comes out of the loop. It will stop. Whenever the condition fails, it will stop. Whenever the condition fails, it will stop. In whatever the situation it may be, it will stop. So I am giving you 5 minutes of time. Step by step, what will happen in the for loop? Like this. So technically you have to say this way. First, j becomes 1. Then condition, that is 1 less than or equal to 5. And what it returns? It returns true. Then console.log of hello. Then console.log of j. Sorry, here it is j. And what is the output I am going to get here? Please write down like this. What is the output I am going to get? 1. Then I plus plus. What will sorry, j plus plus. What will happen after j plus plus? J becomes 2. J becomes 2. Then what will happen? 2 less than or equal to 5. So what does it return? So it return true. మీరు ఇలా రాయాలి, రాసినప్పుడే కోడ్ వస్తుంది. 2 less than or equal to 5, that is true. Then what will happen? Console.log of hello. So what does it print? Hello. After that, console.log of j, what does it print? 2. Then j plus plus. What will be the output? J value becomes 3. What will happen next? I want you to answer this. Ryan, please write it down. Oh, it's me. చెప్పండి. అవునండి. అవునండి. మీకు ఒక బ్లూ రైట్ పక్కన ఒక బ్లూ వేస్తున్నా. దాని ఆపరేషన్ తర్వాత వేపు Okay. అంటే ఓన్లీ దాని తర్వాత రాసావా? సో ఏమవుతుంది ఇక్కడ? 5, come on, 5 is less than or equal to 5. So it is also true. It is not false. This is also true, na? Equal to ఉంది కదమ్మా. So this operation, this expression gives you true only. దాని తర్వాత yeah, please write down. I want it to be completed. No other option. రాజేష్, ఏమనుకోకు, నాకు తెలియాలి కదా. కరెక్ట్. There is a small step over there. మళ్ళీ తీసుకురా ప్లీజ్ డోంట్ మైండ్. I want that word. ఏమైంది? You're Rajendra.
Yeah.
Please be seated. So here somebody wrote, yeah. Thank you. Super. Where Srikanth, good. Yeah, friend. రాజేంద్ర ముందుకు వేసేసుకోదు. హాయ్, ప్లీజ్ డోంట్ బి స్కేర్డ్. ఓకే. No girls or something like that. Okay, come on. So do you know basic? No, nothing. No problem. So just enjoy today. We'll see. Where we are. So what will happen? Execution of this. Sir, I am able to do that because I just want to show you what all things are happening. Okay. 3. Nice. Yeah, thank you. So J became 3 less than or equal to 5. So it is also true. Console.log of hello. So I just want to copy the same thing. So it will print hello, then J is actually 3, so it will print 3, then J becomes 4, right? So it prints 4. Then in the next iteration, same 3 steps will be repeated, but here 4 is less than 5, hello, and it prints 4, and then J plus plus J becomes 5. Then 5 is less than or equal to 5. See, even after repeated steps or repeated approach, still somebody is doing a mistake. 5 less than or equal to 5 is giving you true. It's not false. Okay, or equal to, that's what I'm saying. So hello, and it will print 5, and it will be incremented to 5 will be incremented to 6. Then what will happen? The condition. Then condition will be checked. What is the condition? 6 less than or equal to 5. It is giving us false. So then it will stop. For loop will stop executing that block. Okay. So finally, this is how it will iterate. Everybody has to write whatever I ask you to do in all these steps. Are you getting me? I'm sorry. So you have to repeatedly execute the same series of steps for every piece of line. Okay. Yeah. Next. So now write the same thing using the same program. మీరు కూడా ట్రై చేయొచ్చమ్మా. Using the same program, in the same program, what kind of changes we should make to print 10 to 15? What kind of changes can make this program prints 10 to 15? Is it okay? Yeah, chalo. ట్రై చేయండి, చూద్దాం. Very good. Okay. Yeah. So what kind of changes? I have to start printing from 10. So the initial value should be 10. So the initial value should be 10. So j equal to 10. So the initial value I am making it as 10. And then I have to print up to 15. So my condition should be keep on checking till 15. Right. So j less than or equal to 15. And then it will print 10. Then immediately what I should print? I should print 11. So it will be j plus plus is sufficient. So it will print 10, then it will print 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Clear? Yeah. So now if you are not clear, you have to write all these steps, whatever I have explained you here. All the step by step, step by step, step by step. Only then you will be understand. Okay. Now, I hope you understood how to print 1 to 10, 10 to 1, right? For example, I will take one more program as a program. For where I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5, I plus plus. Okay. So here I don't want to do anything silly. I just directly go document dot write of I. What it will do? It will print the I value on the document in the sense on the browser. So I just try to execute this code and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 directly on the document, right? But whatever you are printing, it is printing on the same line. So in the same line, it will be continuously printing it. But after printing one value, if you want to print the next value in the second line, you have to use a new line. What is that? New line. After printing everything, you have to apply a new line. That can be done by document dot write of BR. Do you remember the BR in HTML? It will give you a break. So now if you see the output, it will print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will be more appealing to see the output than console. Right? Very good. So now I want you to print 10. Okay, 10 to 15 is done. 5 to 1. Okay. So how can I print it? So first I will start with 5. The initial value will be 5. Then see, you have to create the plan in the mind. That is, first I have to print 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. I have to stop there. That means I have to check I value is greater than or equal to 1. I should not check I less than or equal to 1. Hello? Right? I greater than or equal to 1. Every time I have to increase the value, decrease the value 1 because first 5, then 4, then 3, right? So here I'll start with I is equal to 5. I greater than or equal to 1. I minus minus. So the same code will give you 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. So those people who are unable to write the logic, for them today's assignment is to write these steps. writing these steps for every program. You understood, right? Whatever I said for writing 1 to 10, 10 to 15, you have to write these steps for every program. So keep on writing those steps will improve your thought process, will give you a new idea. Okay, so that you can go. For example, if you are able to understand it, then it is okay. There is third category also. Some people will quickly write 1 to 10, 10 to 15, everything so easily. All of a sudden, if I give a new program, they will feel like vacuum. They don't get anything in the mind to write. Calm down. Okay, for them also, if you are not getting the output, you start with the steps. Don't forget these steps. Still, I use them. I'll create an Excel sheet. What is the variable value? Variable I, J, X, N, R, sum in an Excel sheet, and I'll repeat the steps. After everything repeated, I will check out what is the value happening. I started like that. Then I'll tell you after some time debugging. In the browser, you have an option called debugger. In that, you can click on a particular variable and check out what is the value. But right now, I am not going to give you that. Hello. Okay. I will show you, but I don't allow you to do that. First, you have to do it on the paper. Only then you go ahead. Are you getting me? Yes, sir. In this, we have the debugger. But if you go to an interview, do they allow you to write the debugger? You should have in your brain, right? So whatever I say, you practice it like that only. I know what is your problem, where you go into the trouble. I am very much clear. I have attended more than 100 interviews in my life, and I have taken more than 1,000 interviews in my life. So I know where the people are getting the problem. Right? Sir, even Deloitte, even after having 10 years experience when I attended, now I am having 17. But when I attended Deloitte interview for the first time, even recently also, I have seen Deloitte interview. They asked to write the code in the comment section. In the Zoom meeting, they asked to write the code there. So don't escape. They ask you to open the notepad and they ask you to write there. Okay, Manaka, you don't have that option of escape. But yes, you will clear it. Come on. Next, 1 to 10, 10 to 1. Fine. Yeah. Now, I would like to show you something different. All the BTech students will have this answer called Chukal program. Have you heard about it? Chukal program, dot programs, star program. Abba? Everybody had this. Come on. Pattern programs. Yes or no? Don't worry about them. First of all, try to understand the behavior of a for loop. I repeat, behavior of a for loop. Suppose I have a for loop like this. Let me start with I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5, I plus plus. Here inside this for loop, I would like to create one more for loop where j is equal to 1, j less than or equal to 3, j plus plus. And a document dot write of hello. Document dot write of hello. What will happen? Let us debug this. First, I value will be 1, so that will be printed. What is that? 1. After that, a break. After that, there is one more for loop. So in this for loop, j value is 1, initialized with j value 1, and then 1 is less than 3, condition satisfied, then it prints hello. Wait a minute, ikkada agandi oka nimisha. Then it prints, it will increment the value of j, that will 1 becomes 2, j value becomes 2. Then j will be checking the condition. It will not directly go to for loop because this is yet to be ended. Lopal ఇంకా కంప్లీట్ కాలేదు కదా. Sometimes I use Telugu also, but only it is required. Okay. లోపలది కంప్లీట్ కాలేదు కదమ్మా. j పర్టికులర్ లూప్ అనేది కంప్లీట్ కాలేదు కాబట్టి it will complete till it fails. Are you getting me? So j 1 is less than or equal to, 2 is less than or equal to 3. So condition again satisfied. So again it will print hello in the same line because I am not breaking it. Again j becomes 3. 3 is less than or equal to 3. Condition again satisfied. It will print hello again. Then now j becomes 4. You have to say that 4. 4 is not less than 3. So it's false. It stops. And then it goes back to I plus plus. Hello. Right? What is the value of I plus plus? 2. Now 2. So 2 is less than or equal to 5. Right? Then document dot write of 2, where it will be printed here. Hello. After that I got a break. Then again hello, 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 3. Is it clear, Abhi? Yeah. Then you got a break. So finally, if you see 1, hello, 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 2, again hello, hello. So this is the behavior of it. This is the actual behavior of it. Suppose I want 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, that is like this. 1 second. Think about only this one. 1, 1, 2. Okay, ఇది కానీ లేకపోతే just give me a minute, guys. Yeah, I'm talking about this one. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6. So these are all different patterns. I repeat, these are all different patterns. So different patterns will be coming by different code. Let us see what will happen if I write this way. Document dot, instead of here, I would like to put some document here. Instead of document dot write of hello, I would like to have j. So don't hesitate to read the code. How do you read the code? First, break. Unfortunately, I wrote it like that. Let it be break. After that, j value 1. 1 is less than 2. 3. So it prints j. So what it will print here? 1. After that, j becomes 2. 2 is less than 3. So it will print 2. Then it will print 3. After that, wait a minute. ముందు j break అవదా? అది ఎవరు చెప్తారు? j becomes 4. So when j becomes 4, 4 is less than or equal to 3, condition fails. Then I becomes 2. Condition satisfied. Again j value will start with 1 Hello. Then again J value will start with 1. So again it will print 1, 2, 3. So now if you see the output, it will be giving you 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Right? But I want the output like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do you get it? They have to think. I spend time for their thinking. సార్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ వచ్చేది మీ థింకింగ్ తోటే, నా టీచింగ్ తో కాదు. నేను జస్ట్ పాత్ మాత్రమే చూపిస్తుంది. ఓకే, ఆర్ యు రెడీ నౌ విత్ యువర్ ఆన్సర్? సో వాట్ changes I should make on the program to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the printing of these numbers should not stop only by 3. It should print 4. If I want 4 also, then I have to change this to 4. If I change this to 4, J value should be checked till 4. Then I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4. If I checked J value till 5, then it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How's that? Fine? Yes, good. Now, I want an output like this. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. You have 2 minutes of time.
यहाँ एडिट करना अगर तकलीफ लग रहा है तो नॉक में दे दो, लिंक दे दो यहाँ. ओके, ये टैब्स कितने बार प्रेस करते वर्ड में सीधा लिंक दे दो, कोई बात नहीं. Wherever you can minimize the work, please minimize. ठीक है, कंटेंट में तो हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते, वो तो है ही, लेकिन ये सीधा लिंक भी डायरेक्ट में देख सकते हैं. कोई तो सेपरेट करके वो लिंक सही है, वो बार बार स्पेसेस नहीं सकते.
Okay, hope you have done with that. What are the changes I should make? Hey, come on. Come on, come on. Oh, you are thinking. Huh? Okay, see, so this particular document dot write will print whatever you have given, right? This will be printing whatever the J value is for 5 times. Yes or no? So instead of J, if I put I, what will happen? Because for this 5 times of iteration, it will iterate for 5 times. For all the times, what is the value of I? What is the value of I? 1. That is why it is. Second time when it is I value becomes 2, again it will print 5 times. Yes or no? That is. Maybe some of you guys are thinking like, why these are all needed? Why you are interested in that Chukkal programs? I am not interested. Companies are interested. Not on the Chukkal. On your logic. They'll give you an array of values. and they'll ask you to eliminate some of the values. Without knowing nested for loops, you can't handle arrays. Is the point clear? If I ask you to, for example, there is a string. Recently, one of our students got this question. The question is, I'll give you a text. Welcome to Indian Indian film industry. In that line, you have to remove all the vowels. Vowels A, E, I, O, U should be removed, and whatever the result is there, that should be printed. How do you handle, man? Logic రాయాలి కదా, లాజిక్ ఎట్లా డెవలప్ అవుతుంది అట్లా. There are array of values. In the array of values, you have to print only those employees whose salaries are less than 40,000. How do you iterate? Chukkala program. Patterns are such an important thing. Okay, come on. So now the next pattern is, I want a pattern something like this. That is rectangle. This one. Pyramid. Yeah, this one. We have these all programs. Don't worry. నేను డ్రైవ్ కి వెళ్ళి ఓపెన్ చేసుకునే లోపల టైం వేస్ట్ అని ఇస్తున్నాను. యా, దిస్ కైండ్ 1 2 2 3 3 3 3 3. Can you do that? ఎట్లా? You have to think. You have to think. So the first time it should print only one value. Second time it should print 2, but it should print only 2 values. Third time it should print only 3 values. So you have to understand something like this is able to print, this particular for loop is able to repeat the content for 5 times. Why? The j value is repeating up to 5 times. So if I repeat only up to I times, complexity entered. So when I value is 1, this particular loop will repeat for how many times? 1 time. When I value is 2, this particular loop will be repeated for how many times? 2 times. When I is equal to 3, can you see the output now? Sir, I am not doing anything complex. ఒక్కటే ఒకటి పట్టుకున్నా. Only one logic. I am changing the I value and J value here and there with little logical thinking. I am able to achieve all these things. Am I correct or not? Pappu pass. But if you apply more of your thoughts, then you will get more knowledge. Am I correct or not? Shall we do that? Chalo. So now 1 2 2 3 3 3 3. But now I want 1 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. This particular part 1 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5. So what kind of changes I should make to get that pattern in this program? నేను చాలా తక్కువ టైం ఇచ్చి అడుగుతున్నా. దిస్ ఈజ్ అన్ఫేర్. బట్ ఐ వాంట్ యూ టు స్టార్ట్ థింకింగ్. దట్స్ ఇట్. నేనే చెప్తా ఆన్సర్, కానీ మీరు థింకే చేయకుంటే మాత్రం ఇంపాసిబుల్. పెట్టుకుందాం. ఎక్కడ జే?
సెకండ్ నెస్టెడ్ లూప్ లో డాక్యుమెంట్ డాట్ రైట్ ఆఫ్
లైన్ నెంబర్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా లెఫ్ట్.
నెంబర్ 7.
అది దట్ ఇస్ ఈజీ రైట్. ఏం చేయాలా?
we can put j on them.
I think we ఇట్లనా
No, sir. Document.write of J.
document dot write of J. So నొక్కాలా? ఓకే, కరెక్ట్, ఇట్ ఈస్. ఎందుకు వచ్చిందని ఆలోచించు అవి. The thing is, learning comes only by observation. Okay, first we observe it, then we start thinking about why it come. Okay, so like this you are able to do writing of the code of 1 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4, something like this. So we have some complex questions also for your assignments. Okay, when we are free we will definitely discuss them also, but right now we have to enter into a new concept called arrays. What is that? Arrays. So what is an array? No problem. So today I don't want to trouble you by speaking too much about arrays, but only thing is, let us take an array and let us print that array, let us understand that array, nothing else. If it is a container, how many types of values I can put it in a container? Only one type of value. But when it comes to this kind of container, how many values, different values you can put on there? Yeah, please. Multiple. Yes or no? Under a single variable, we can keep only one value. But if you want to group different values together under one container, we can have array. What is that? Array. So here I can declare where AR is equal to container. Which bracket? Square bracket. What type of brackets we have here? Round brackets, parenthesis, square, curly brackets. This is called braces, and then this is called square brackets. These are the only three things we have. Don't get worried. Angular brackets are there, but we hardly, I mean, HTML uses it, not JavaScript. Okay, come on, shall we go ahead? What is AR now? Right now I say it is an array, but after one day I'll say it is not an array. నా మీద మీకు చాలా కోపం వస్తుంది. కోపం ఏ రేంజ్కి వస్తుంది ముందే చెప్పొచ్చు కదా. కాదు, ఇఫ్ ఐ సే దట్ యూ డోంట్ అండర్స్టాండ్ ద ఎసెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్. Okay, that is the only reason, but I correct it very soon, tomorrow. What is AR? It's an array. So as soon as you say array, you can have, as I said, you can place multiple values, not one value. You can have multiple values separated by slash, కాదు, percentile, కాదు, comma, not colon, comma, separated by itano, comma. Array sir, I am not that funny guy, but you guys, అంటే వీళ్ళు ఎట్లా చేస్తారంటే they take an array separated by వాళ్ళ ఇష్టం స్పేస్ పెడతారు. I said space, no sir, no sir, don't ask, స్పేస్ పెడతారు. నో సార్. లేకపోతే సెమికోలన్ పెట్టేస్తారు. సెమికోలన్ దేర్, నో సార్, నో సార్. ఏం కిరణ్ కాదా? మీరు అయ్యో నన్ను వదిలేసే, ఇక్కడ వదిలేసే, ఈ కంపెనీకి వెళ్ళి చూడు, రైటింగ్ అండ్ అరే దే విల్ డూ సమ్ సర్కస్ ఓవర్ దేర్. సో అందుకనే నేను ఇట్లా అంటున్నాను అని అంటే You start learning there. Okay, you never forget, I bet. Okay, chalo. In objects, you separate key value pairs by semicolon. Action to చెప్పు, ఏం ప్రాబ్లం లేదు. Otherwise, you will be a plastic actor. ప్రతిదానికి ఒకటే expression. Okay, so you have to write it. Okay, come on. So how many values I want to put? Multiple values. So 10, comma, Rahul, comma, 454, comma, Kiran, comma, so this is also fine. These are the different values we have. In which array? In the AR. Okay. So how many values are there in the AR? Repeat. 6. How many values there in the AR? 6. How many people are there in this room?
9.
ఇంకొకటి వచ్చింది, అది మర్చిపోయాను. 10. So 10, totally 10. So if you start, Dhritiman sir is the first starting person, then how do you say first person, second person, third person, fourth person, fifth person, sixth person, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th, right? So we start our count by arrays. Don't start the count by 1. It starts from 0. So you had, what is the index of Dhritiman sir? 0. Dhritiman sir, your index is 0. Where is first index? Rohit? He is the first index. Okay, anyways. So your array starts with 0. Total number is 10. Okay. So Dhritiman sir index is 0. Rohit's index is 1. Rajesh index is 2. Prashant index is 3. What is the last person index?
9.
I want that answer very clearly. If there are 10 members in the room, if there are 10 values in the array, first index is 0. What is the last index? 9. If the length of the array is 800, what is the last index? 799. Okay, don't formulate anything. Be logical. Length minus 1, sir. Don't say that. Don't formulate anything. If I say formula, you remember only formula. You forget everything behind it. ఆ మ్యాథ్స్ సార్లు అందరిని చంపేయాలి ఫస్ట్. ఫార్ములా గుర్తుపెట్టుకో, ఫార్ములా అంటే లాజిక్ నేర్చుకోరా భయ్. దాంట్లో ఉన్నది ఏంటో చదువు. ఐ హేట్ దట్ షార్ట్ కట్. గివ్ మీ షార్ట్ కట్ సార్. గుండు బయలుపోతుంది. మా సార్ అయితే అట్లే. వై షార్ట్ కట్? You have the procedure. By doing practice, you get the procedure. You quickly answer that. Then you create your own formulatic approach. It's not only about it. C.V. Ramanujan also wrote so many formulas. Not to write formulas, because he doesn't have the books. So he has to write the complete analysis in one line. So he wrote a formula. మీకేమైనా బుక్కులు ఉన్నాయి కదా. Okay, anyways, the ultimate thing is I want you to understand what is the concept behind it. If an array has 100 values, first value index will be 0 and the last value index will be 19. So all the array values will be accessed through these indexes. Hello. So how the indexes will be mentioned? Here is a little confusion for you. If I say console.log of AR, it will print the complete array. But I don't want the complete array. I want third index value. So for that, I use open bracket, AR of open bracket, close bracket, the name of the array, open bracket, which bracket? Square bracket, and the index. Have you understood this? Close the square bracket. So this syntax gives you the array value, the value in that array at which index? Third index. Third index, not third value. I repeat, third index. So whenever I say AR of 3, what is that? 3 index, not that value. Okay. Huh. So what is the output I am going to get?
Kiran,
Very good. Why Kiran?
because it was
10,
in
10 is at 0th index, Rahul is at 1 index, it is at third index, sorry, second index, index 2, index 2, index 3, you have Kiran. So your output will be executions అన్ని మీరు చూస్తారమ్మా, కంగారు పడకండి. Kiran. Clear? Kiran. Okay. Huh. So if I have no మీరు ఎంత సెన్సిటివ్ ఉంటారంటే మిమ్మల్ని ఎవరు కన్ఫ్యూజ్ చేయని అవసరం లేదు. ఇట్లా చూడంగానే నాకు అయిపోవాలనిపిస్తుంది, కన్ఫ్యూజన్ అని అయిపోతా ఉంటారు. కన్ఫ్యూజన్ మిమ్మల్ని సపరేట్ గా ఒకళ్ళు వచ్చి కన్ఫ్యూజ్ చేసేంత అవసరం లేదు. ఇట్స్ వెరీ సింపుల్. నేను ఎందుకు చెప్తున్నానంటే సడన్ గా అక్కడ ఏదో వేరే నెంబర్స్ ఉంటాయి, మీ లాజిక్ మీద మీ బేస్ మీద మీకు క్లారిటీ ఉండదు, దానివల్ల కన్ఫ్యూజన్స్ వస్తూ ఉంటాయి. ఓకే, వై ఐఎమ్ సేయింగ్ దట్ ఐ విల్ టెల్ యూ. So what is AR of 4? Okay, what is AR of 6? సో 6 ఆల్రెడీ ఉంది, దీని ఇండెక్స్ చెప్తున్నారు కొంతమంది. అయ్యో మీరు అట్లా చూడకండి, అట్లా చెప్పిన వాళ్ళు చాలా మంది ఉన్నారు. 6 ఎక్కడుంది, దాని ఇండెక్స్ ప్రింట్ అవుతుందంట. ఎక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చిందో మధ్యలోంచి నాకు తెలియదు, ఈ లాజిక్ ఎక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చిందో. ఏఆర్ ఆఫ్ 6 అంటే వాట్ ఈస్ ఏఆర్ ఆఫ్ 6? ప్రింట్ ద వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ద అరే విచ్ ఈస్ అట్ ఇండెక్స్ 6th. 6th పొజిషన్ లో ఉన్నది కాదు, ఇట్స్ నాట్ అట్ 6th పొజిషన్, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇండెక్స్ 6. Maybe we are not, our mother tongue is not English, so we may confuse like that, but logic is there, right? AR 6 means what? Is it position 6 or index 6? Index 6. Okay. So నాకు ఓపిక ఉంది కాబట్టి, నాకు కొద్దిగా తిక్క కూడా ఉంది కాబట్టి నేను ఇదే పాయింట్ ని 100 సార్లు చెప్తున్నా, రైట్? కానీ ఇది కూడా సరిపోదమ్మా, మీరు దీనికి ఇంకొక 100 రకాలుగా చదవాలి. నేను ఒక పాయింట్ని ఎన్ని రకాలుగా డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నా, ధృతిమన్ సార్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పా, ఇండెక్స్ అన్నా, పొజిషన్ అన్నా, లొకేషన్ అంటున్నా. ఇది సరిపోదు, దీని మీద ఇంకా 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 డిస్కషన్ జరగాలి. వేరే రకమైన క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చినప్పుడు కూడా మీరు యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయాలి. వాట్ ఎవర్ ద క్వశ్చన్స్ యూ గెట్, యూ హ్యావ్ టు యాక్సెప్ట్ దట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ డిఫరెంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఆల్సో. Okay, maybe yes, now we have time, so we are discussing. Maybe in one topic I might never discuss this detail. Hello, mostly 90% I discuss, but if I miss it, then you should continue the discussion. Okay, I told you about React. In the company they asked you to work on different technology. The only problem with you is you can learn, but the confidence comes only by discussion. Are you getting me? Discuss something like this at your tea. Discuss something like this at your TV. Right? Okay, thank you. So now where AR of 6 is sixth index value. So zeroth index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So output I'll be getting 8. Okay, next. Okay, that is 8. Next. I have something different where P is equal to 4. Let us have where P is equal to 2. I have a variable called P which is having a value called 2. I have an array expression like this, console.log of AR of P. What is P? A variable. Hello, P is a variable which is having a value 2. So how this particular expression, this is called array expression. Hello, this is called array expression. So how this will be converted? Console.log of AR of 2. Have you understood? AR of P ante P lo ఉన్న value index. Is it okay? Is that fine? So what is the output I'm going to get, guys? P plus plus means P plus plus means
Third index.
P value will be incremented by 1. So P value becomes 3. So if I say console.log of AR of P, what does it print? If I say what is the value of the output here? 7. What is the output here? అరే అంత ఆలోచన ఏముందబ్బా P value here by this statement P value become 3. By this line P value becomes. So what is P of 4? 4. Here P value becomes 5. What is the output I am going to get? 6. Yes. So now if I ask you to write a program to print all the values from 0th index to 7th index, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How do you print? So that is what your application is. I'll take for where I is equal to 0, where I value starts from 0, I less than or equal to, if I 7, 9, yeah, less than or equal to 8. Because how many values are there? 9 values. So what is the last index it will be? 8. So 8 I plus plus. So console.log of I gives you. Cheppandi, what will be the output? That's it, 0. అంతేనా? ఇంకా 0 కాకుండా ఏం ప్రింట్ అవ్వదా? మరి వాల్యూస్ ప్రింట్ అవ్వవా? 3, 2, 5, 7, 4, 6.
We didn't give anything. So
I said print I. I know you will be confused. I am asking you to print I. So I started with 0. It will print 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, up to 8. What if I say, okay, first of all, let us see the output 0, 1, 2, 8. What if I say AR of I? So first, when I value is 0, it will print AR of 0. That is 3. When I value is 1, it prints AR of 1. Isn't it? Like this, it will print all the values. Chalo. Understood this concept? Yes. How to access the values of array? Yes or no? Yeah. So can you please print right away? Can you please print the values which are, I want all the values in between index 3 and index 6. What is the index 3? 7, right? I want the values in between 3 to 6. That means 3, 4, 5 and 6.
Is equal to 3.
I is equal to 3, I less than or equal to 6. So it will give you the values between this one. Understood, guys? Yeah? Complex? No? Can you please print only the okay. Can you please print all the values from last to first?
Is equal to 8, 9. I minus 9.
I is equal to 9, na? Okay.
I equal to 8.
Why 8 and why 9? ఇద్దరు కొట్టుకోండి ఫస్ట్.
Index value.
కొట్టుకోండి ఫస్ట్ చొక్కాలు పట్టుకున్నా.
Total number 9 is 0 into 1 is 8.
ఏమైంది?
9 8 index లో ఉన్నాయి సార్.
కంగారు పడకు. కొండాపూర్ ఇప్పుడే పోదు బాగు చెప్. ఎన్ని వాల్యూస్ ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి? 9 ఉన్నాయి.
9 ఉన్నాయి.
లాస్ట్ ఇండెక్స్ ఎంత అవుతుంది?
8.
సో ఎక్కడి నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి?
8 నుంచి స్టార్ట్.
మరి 9 అంటే ఏమి? సో ఇట్స్ 8 I greater than or equal to 1
I minus.
I minus. Okay. So today you are going to get more number of assignments on array. Okay. So you have to solve the for loop assignments as well as array assignments. So see, every day I will check your assignments. I personally check your assignments. Without completion of the assignments, if you go, I mark 0 on that day. After completion of the course, don't ask me about your placements. అంతే. అది అయిపోయిన తర్వాత నన్ను అడగండి అవ్వలేదు అని. రావాలి అని అంటే మాత్రం ఇది ఎవ్రీడే ఇదంతా చేయాల్సింది. రెడీ? చలో, దట్స్ ఇట్ గైస్, దట్స్ ఇట్ ఫర్ టుడే. ఎనీ క్వెరీస్? మౌలి, భార్గవి, Teja, why you are not there here today?
Not feeling well, sir. Just for today.
లేదు బేటా.
I'll come from tomorrow.
Okay.
As of now, no, Praveen. So
Okay.
while working, if you have anything, I'll just let you know.
Yeah, please start working on for loops and while loops as well as the pattern programs. Don't miss Bhargavi.
Sure.
Array handling arrays, all the hacker rank problems are based on these logics only. Okay. So as many complex problems as possible, please solve them. Okay, Naveen, Kiran, all. Okay, guys, that's it for today. See you tomorrow.